As a sports management professional, one of my strong beliefs of the field of sport is the fact that sport mimics life, sport imitates life. Let me give you an example of how sport mimics life, how opportunities in sport basically mimic life. We all know about this great company called Reliance, right? In the mid-2000s, there was a split in the company. When the split happened, you would basically believe, is this a good decision or a bad decision? But what did it do? It basically unearthed, value for the shareholder. What it did was basically when the companies got diversified, it unearthed new value. In fact, your valuations of your split shares took your value in Reliance to almost double. Similar thing presents itself with cricket today. We run cricket under the encompass of the BCCI, and I'm fine with it. But I think, they need to look at different properties under them separately and create commercial centers around these properties. Two such properties that are very important are women's cricket and domestic cricket. A lot of commercial potential which has not been unearthed. And for that, you need to create, a very critical position, for this. That critical position is the position of a commissioner. I propose that the BCCI creates two positions of commissioners, one commissioner for women's cricket and one for domestic men's cricket. What is the position of this commissioner and how is it different from, say, position of a general manager or a CEO? We know that the IPL already has its own CEO, right? It has its own chairman. As far as I know, most of the chairman positions in the BCCI are honorary. The CEO is a professional. But why do we need a commissioner? For that, let's understand where the whole position of the commissioner originated and what, the role encompasses. The person who holds the position of a commissioner, what does it encompass? The position of a commissioner in league sport first originated in America. It originated out of a moment of crisis. This crisis was known infamously as the Boston Black Sox crisis. What happened was in Major League Baseball in 1919, some of the players of one of the big teams, that is the Boston White Sox, threw some matches through match fixing. When the owners came to know about it, the integrity of the league was in question. Therefore, they thought, a cleanup is needed. And they found a person called Kinso Mountain Landis, who was a reputed attorney. He was the first appointed commissioner of Major League Baseball. He was tasked with cleaning up the sport, which he did successfully and ran, the sport of Major League Baseball for the next 10-20 years. Now, how is the position of this commissioner very different from, say, a general manager or CEO, which we find, these positions are there in the BCCI with the IPL. How is it different? And that you'll understand from what encompasses his role. So basically, when a commissioner is appointed, first, he is given independent charge. He is responsible for the governance. He is responsible for framing of the rules. He is responsible for the business development of the league. He is responsible for labor laws, that is all player contracts, etc. They go through him. He is responsible for crisis management. That is, he's the public face of the league. If I can give an example, something like what is happening with the Indigo thing, you'll hardly find the major owner coming out, right? He puts up the CEO, he puts up somebody else, but he's not coming in when there is a crisis. And whenever there is a crisis, it's the commissioner who becomes the face of the league. Fifth is strategy. Because whenever you have a product, and you have to have that horizon of how it will progress 5 years, 10 years from now. And that's why you need strategy and you need that vision. All these roles encompass what you call a commissioner. Now, did India and did the IPL ever have a commissioner? Well, the answer is yes. That commissioner was the indomitable Lalit Modi. The first IPL chairman and a commissioner role was given to only Lalit Modi. Since then, we've not had a commissioner of the IPL, we've had chairmen. And therefore, I think it is very critical, for these two products that I've identified, which, are at the cusp of, unearthing a lot of commercial potential. That is women's cricket and domestic men's cricket. Domestic men's cricket we will cover in detail And I'll tell you now exactly as to why women's cricket needs a commissioner. Women's cricket needs a commissioner because it sits at the cusp of greatness. The 2025 magnificent victory at the World Cup, has got all the attention towards this part of cricket in India. And they already have the foundations laid. They have a women's Premier League, which has 5 teams. It's time now that the 5 teams, go to at least 10, like the men's. And that's where the commissioner will be needed. These women's cricketers, already another foundation stone was laid by Jai Shah, I think the most influential man in Indian cricket. He created a parity in the salaries of women's cricketers and men's cricketers as far as the international matches go. But as far as the contracts are concerned, the women's cricketers still lack a proper contract as compared to the their men counterpart. And that's where the commissioner would come into the picture. Thirdly, whether these teams are to go from 5 to 10, the next few business decisions for women's cricket, more bilateral series, that is a role that needs more than just a general manager or, a CEO. This needs an independent person who will take charge of women's cricket and take it to its next level. I hope you understand now why a commissioner is needed for products which are in that embryonic stage for, where they have to take the next step towards greatness. And similarly, a commissioner is needed for domestic men's cricket, but we'll cover that in a separate topic altogether because domestic men's cricket is a vast, extensive subject. Did today's subject interest you? Does it germinate ideas? Does it, create discussions in the field of sports management and cricket, a sport that you all love? If yes, then like, share and subscribe to this channel and let us take more such informative content to you. Thank you.